Welcome to Panther Sports Talk. We're sitting down with the MVC Coach of the Year, Bobbi Petersen. Last time we talked, we were recapping a regular season championship. Then you went out and won the conference tournament title. Just talk about how proud you are of your student athletes for rising to the challenge, because it was a pretty big challenge to win that title.
Yeah, and it was so different. Even for the coaches, I'm so proud of our staff because it was a very different tournament than we're used to, having it before Thanksgiving, having 2 rounds before we even stepped on the court was very different. So just really proud of our ability to prepare for it. We definitely learned some things that we'll do differently if we're in that situation again. But super proud. You know, you play the whole school. Tough draw in my mind because they were rowdy. They had a great crowd. And we were hoping they'd be a little tired because they had played 2 matches, but they really actually were not. The 2 kids that have been just awesome for them just really had good matches. But we hung in there. We got challenged in a lot of ways that I think really helped us as we headed into the Drake match. And you know, the Drake match is crazy because I predicted it would go 5 and somebody would win in 2. Had no idea what that would be. I didn't tell anyone that, obviously. But just a battle. And I think the biggest thing for our team is just having that opportunity to, when things weren't going well, just really try hard to focus on the things that we are doing well, because it's easy to get caught up in the things. We struggled with their pins, shutting them down. But as we're trying to get that in a better position, our block better, our defense better, really focus in our offensive side. And I thought our kids did a really good job of doing that. And we'll like to give a shout out to our crowd for being there and supporting us. I joke that the only challenge I think I won all week was their win. They called it and they were adamant, so it's the only challenge I won for the week. So I'm very proud of having our crowd following as well.
You like to put your team in tough positions in the non-conference to prepare for moments like that. How did those moments prepare them to win in a must-win 4th and in a must-win 5th set?
Yeah, I think, you know, Eric, we talk about it a lot. It's one of those things, you put your kids in those situations, but it can go one of 2 ways. You know, you could lose a lot of confidence, or you can take what you learned from those moments, knowing the things that you need to focus on and get better to compete with the best in the country. Knowing, okay, we have been in that situation against some of the top teams in the conference or in the country, and, you know, what can we do to get better, but what can we do in those situations when we're competing against anybody? And it is, you know, it's kind of a roller coaster, but I'm just really proud. You know, our kids took those matches. I think they wanted to compete better in those, but they didn't let that discourage them for what their ultimate goals were, and that is definitely conference championships and a chance to be in the big dance.
Such a balanced unit that you have where opponents can't key on just one player. How has that benefited you in matches like of this magnitude? Yeah,
it's huge. And I think the biggest thing is it's not just that we're balanced when things are perfect. We've been able to push our middles, push Olivia on the right side. So Carly, Inga, Olivia in situations where a lot of people won't set their middles. So it's, you know, easy to be balanced when things are in system, but it's a lot harder. You know, we have really good percentages for our middles, but if they only got balls in perfect situations, those percentages would even be a lot higher. So really proud of the balance, and obviously getting the ball to Taylor to be able to do that, and Taylor doing her job is a big part of that.
Serving's a big part of the game of volleyball, and you look at the aces, that's incredible. But tough serving, putting the pressure on the opponent's defense, might have been the difference between a championship or not.
It really is, and especially a team like Drake, you know how good their outsides are. They are going to their outsides when it's out of system, but at least you can commit to that versus, okay, well, they still have this middle that does some things as well. And our serving was so good against Drake. I think it was the difference maker for us, and that's been an area that's been a little bit up and down, and it was really strong, and I know it will be heading into the NCAA tournament as well.
Panthers are NCAA tournament bound after winning the regular season and conference tournament championship. Back for more with Bobbi Petersen right after this.